Earlier today, I spoke to their deputy leader, Rory O'Connor, who, under broadcasting restrictions, must inhale helium to subtract credibility from his statements.
So what's your initial statement?
These incidents are inevitable given the position of the British government.
You do support this campaign, then?
The IRA have been forced into this position.
So you do support this campaign of violence?
The IRA... Sinn Féin is a legitimate political party.
Which supports terrorist action?
Your tone is antagonistic and you're making me very angry.
And since we conducted that interview, all sides in the conflict have had a meeting and have sorted everything out.
The Day-to-Day is now available in these 5 locations. The night sky over Paris. The International Hackenbecker building in Chicago. The wall of Cheops Pyramid at Giza. And the handles of 400 million petrol pumps across the globe.
The huge success of BBC's new soap opera The Bureau has now spread to Italy.
Non voglio parlarne adesso, parleremo più tardi.
Questo per me va.
They've got a daytime discussion show there devoted entirely to it. It's called Bello Buretti, and it stars as the wagging tongues of hosts Carmina Zo and Pokazina McRae.
Ma tu sei in crisi?
No.
Ah, siete da bravo! Ah, de grande porca!
Básicamente, Renacin es un mezzochino, ultimación de la mezzochina.
Non un spettacolo di burattini sul lungomare a Margate.
So much for the Euro Bureau. Meanwhile, back here in Britain, a nation holds its breath tonight for the 2000th edition.
Why did they do this to me? Just because I'm gay? I'm gay. I'm gay.
What?
It's Guy, Mr. Hennity. He's been attacked.
Yeah, I know. What did you say?
Said I'm gay.
You're fired.
What? Morning, you Jack Hennity. Did Guy go real?
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on then, walk. A lot of you walk. I've got people queuing up to work inside this bureau this yarn. Yeah, go on, you go and all. Just you remember what you said. Maria! Maria!
I would see myself as an individual human being needing salvation, receiving it through the work of Jesus Christ.
Do you find the day-to-day comes into this at all?
Well, how can it not? It is day-to-day.
Every day, the day-to-day.
Every day, day-to-day.
For you?
Yeah.
And with a bit of luck for all these people.
That's what one prays for, what one would like to see.
You would like to see the day-to-day for all these people today. Your prayer was answered.
That they should each enter into an experience of personal salvation.
Which would include the day-to-day.
Well, how could it not? I don't know what kind of salvation you could be talking about that wouldn't include the day-to-day.
Environmation from me, Rosie May. An international ban on the hunting of waves has finally been introduced. Waves have been used for centuries to pull cars in small countries, but are now facing extinction. Over 1 million specially farmed waves are to be released into the wild this winter. Man has finally harnessed the cooling power of worms to drive a fridge. The worms inhabit an internal piping system cooling everything as they go. Cramming in more worms lowers the temperature. Worms. I'm Rosie May. My milk is green. Come drink me.
Tomorrow, the Home Office release a new series of videos designed to help young people with everyday problems. They're produced in association with the Day Today, and this is the first.
Salted! 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 Yeah! Salted!
Hello, I'm Graham. And I'm Crispin. And today we're going to show you how to deal with a relative who's just died in your house. Let's go. Oh, look, Dad's dead.
Oh, fuck. Hello, Dad. Are you dead?
Right then, what you'll need is some vinegar, an oven glove, 2 ping pong balls, fresh, books, some butcher's grass, super glue, some bungee, a salad spinner, and a chisel.
1 chili chicken and a packet of fresh, please.
First, embalming. A cup of vinegar,
Bit of shoe polish on the wrists.
and inject the corpse thoroughly with fresh.
Now he's ready for a coffin.
But don't forget,
Wash your hands.
It's the end of your day as you...
now he's unburied, now he's not. Leave her up a nearby paving stone.
Scratch on the name.
On the stone! So Pip can see what's in the ground!
And make way for the priest. For your bouquet, stick your chisel into your salad spinner.
Plunge it into the mound. Flowers! Sorted! Unless, of course, you're a Muslim.
Now with the rest of today's news, Chris. Thanks. It's 8 o'clock. This is the Day Today. The main stories so far. The Libyan leader Colonel Gaddafi has plunged southern Europe into crisis by kidnapping Crete and towing it to a secret location off the Libyan coast. Crowds in Tripoli welcomed the news, a delighted Gaddafi waving like a girl. Libyan tugs stole Crete at 2 o'clock this morning. At first, the natives, aided by strong winds, were able to haul it halfway back. But then they lost grip, the island was towed to the North African coast and hidden under water. The Lincolnshire village of Fladney is tonight recovering from a gravity quake during which the Earth's pull was reversed for 7 minutes, sending everything not secured onto the ground over a mile into the air. The quake struck at 4:30 this afternoon. These pictures were taken by Paul Cork, who had his Polaroid with him when he fell up into the roof of a shanty. This man survived by clinging onto a boot scraper. Others were not so lucky.
I was playing football with my cousin in the garden there, and we jumped up to catch the ball and just kept going.
His cousin later rained back onto the ground along with 4,000 other villagers. The American space shuttle Endeavour 4 sets off tonight on its special stunt mission. Once in orbit, it will hurtle towards a NASA space ramp, fly off the end and leap over a line of 12 other shuttles. It will then return to Earth tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. It's time now for our resident humorist Brant, the physical cartoonist from the Daily Telegraph, to bloody the noses of the great and good. Mr. B, make us smile about the bad things in the world.
This week, I've been looking east, where Chris Pratt, like King Kong, has made a monkey of himself over Hong Kong.
An old man stands naked in front of a mirror eating soup. He is a fool.
Jacques Livereux, brilliant man, surprisingly nice one too. Now it's easy to tell if somebody's dead. How can you tell if you're dead? Some people have lived to tell the tale.
Lucy Turner Warren was a boxing trainer in Hartlepool. She had a near-death experience when in a coma induced by a pupa gun.
I learned later that I had actually died. My heart stopped for, I don't know, a few seconds. I could see a tunnel, and at the end of that tunnel, a very, very bright light. I was aware of a figure standing at the end where the light was. She led me into an open plan office, and at the back there was this little separate office, and she beckoned me towards it, and on the door it said God. And there was a man, very nice, friendly man in a suit, grey hair, and I sat down and we chatted a bit. He was very jokey and jolly, and I remember he had a little sign behind his head that said, it was one of those, you know, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps, something. So I thought, well, he's obviously got a sense of humour. Anyway, we talked, and then he pointed to another man in a suit with a beard and said, that's my son. And I looked back at God, and he laughed and said, it's a family firm. And it was very, very friendly, but very boring.
I'm afraid all of these people are talking about out-of-body experiences are basically congenital lies.
Chanticleer Gardsley is Professor of Psychosociology at University College London. He is a skeptic.
A whole catalogue of examples of hospitals actually manufacturing out-of-body experiences whereby they attach patients to wires and actually lift them up towards the ceiling level, creating in the patient a feeling of literally lifting up their bodies.
In laboratory experiments, scientists artificially created near-death experiences in mice. They fired hungry mice against a wall with a specially calibrated gun. Food was placed on a shelf above the comatose mice. If they had a soul, it would leave the mouse's body, float upwards, and eat. The results showed that afterwards, the mice felt as if they had just eaten. More proof was provided by the out-of-body experience of Leslie Sarfraz.
I could actually see myself coming out of my mouth as vomit, but it wasn't just as vomit, it was like as vomit in a dress, and then I woke up and I was a woman. I went into my experience as a man, but left it as a woman. Something definitely happened, but I don't know what.
So how do you explain this feelings these out-of-body experiences?
He didn't.
Oh yes. And I liked him. I like him. I love him, but I don't want to go. I don't want to go and work for him.
An optimist sees half a pint of milk. He says it is half full. A pessimist sees half a pint of milk. He says it is half empty. I see half a pint of milk. I say it is sour.
No time for anything but the weather. A lot of snow around. Pretty grim out there, isn't it, Sylvester?
Yes, Chris, most of Britain will be waking up tomorrow to a carpet of white dung. Thanks, mate.
And that's it. No time left for the headlines. That's the day today. 9 o'clock at BBC 2 tomorrow night. We'll start again. Until then, thanks very much for watching. This is Amazing News. Very good night. Once again tomorrow night for a full resume of the day's events, the sport, the business, the weather, and the very latest changes in the world of culture. At the same time, 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. The rest of the very latest changes in local, national, and international news. Prepared to break the flow of the programme. Often live packaged by two of the reporters on the feed. Those who know that news is paramount, and only the most recently hatched news egg football matches. The headlines tonight.